Even if the Biden administration wanted to wage war on the Mexican drug cartels, the Mexican themselves, the Mexican government, is standing in the way. Of course, you wouldn't know that by looking at the chummy pictures of President Biden and the Mexican First Lady celebrating Cinco de Mayo a few weeks ago. Then President Biden called Mexico our special friend.
The United States and Mexico are more than good neighbors. We're genuine, true friends, partners. There's an unshakable bond strengthened by mutual respect and our shared commitment to the prosperity and security of both our nations. It's not our backyard, it's our front yard.
Irrespective of what yard it is, they're not really keeping it that clean. Evidently, President Biden didn't discuss that statement with his own DEA before the speech. The DEA says cooperation with Mexico is almost non-existent, and it couldn't come at a worse time. The DEA reports 40% of pills sold on the street contain a deadly dose of fentanyl. Most of that fentanyl comes from Mexico, where the cartels spend just a couple of $1,000 making enough fentanyl to fill this coffee mug, and then they can make close to $1 million on the street in major American cities. Fentanyl now kills more young Americans than anything else. More than 40,000 of 18 to 45-year-olds will die this year. And we've said before, why don't we treat the Mexican cartels like the terrorists they are? Derek Maltz, former special agent in charge of Special Operations Division in the DOJ. Good to see you. Appreciate it. Boy, with friends like the Mexicans, who even needs the cartels, right?
Right, Leland. I mean, when he talks about shared commitment for the safety and security of our countries, what about the 100,000 plus young Americans that are dying at historic levels? The families are suffering all over this country. 295 a day. Every 5 minutes, we're losing a young kid. Many of these kids are being deceived because millions of pills are coming into this country that are fake, that are made in these dirty, filthy labs controlled by the Mexican cartels. Who, by the way, Leland, one thing, by the way, they're working closely with the Chinese transnational criminals.
No, I get that. What I'm trying to figure out is why the Mexicans have now backed away. Headline from NPR, U.S.-Mexico efforts targeting drug cartels have unraveled. Are the Mexicans just not playing ball anymore?
Well, Leland, for example, they're not going after these chemical production labs, these deadly chemicals that are being made in Mexico. They're not going after the labs that like they used to with the DEA. The DEA supposedly just had to pull their plane out of Mexico. They're not working with the SIU units like they did. They're not having the successes that they used to have. This president in Mexico is big on hugs for thugs policies. Just like in our country, the rule of law is just non-existent in a lot of places now.
I'm thinking about
we can't have that.
I'm thinking about the cartels themselves. Sinaloa cartel, cartel Jalisco, and the Gulf cartel. Combined, they've got 36,000 soldiers, and they're doing, they're doing more than a lot of Fortune 500 companies. Some have assets of $20 billion in the like. Is it possible to take them on without the Mexicans and just send in the U.S. military or send in DEA special operations?
100%. We have the greatest patriots in the world in DOD, the intel community, law enforcement. We have capabilities to wipe out these production labs. We're not looking at a ground war with Mexico. That's not even possible right now.
And if you knock out these labs, what happens to the supply of fentanyl in America?
Well, if you knock out the labs, we're not going to have a supply like we're having now. It's a tsunami, Leland. It's flooding the streets all over the country. Plus, we got to knock out the chemicals coming from China in the cartel-controlled ports. Not only for fentanyl, but this mass amount of methamphetamine that the cartels are making. And by the way, Leland, the Chinese are also taking over the money laundering services for the cartels. So without the money, without the chemicals, they can't make the poisonous drugs that are killing our kids. It's a real simple formula, but we need somebody that's going to take it on.
What would it take to make the Mexicans start cooperating again with the DEA and start cracking down again?
Well, you have to have meetings and you have to be aggressive. Our border czar is nowhere to be found. She's supposed to be in charge of the border. We don't even know what she's doing. Now, the president talks about what an unusual and an extraordinary threat the drug crisis is to America's national security. But what is he doing about it? We still have a wide open border, record level of apprehensions at the border. The gotaways, 60 to 70,000 a month, running into our country.
Right,
we have no idea who they are.
Yeah, no, I understand. We've certainly covered the border. I'm thinking more about it in terms of going after the cartels. Hey, Derek, it's always good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Leland.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.